Hey everyone, Paper Guy here, back with another set of replay reviews. We're going to do two different replay reviews to save me editing time. First, we're going to start with Gooseberry. Gooseberry is a gold replayer who has been playing the game, only picked up the game recently, already gold 3, so great start for him. He's playing Japanese. He asked me to look at this game against Delhi. Also a gold player on Dry Arabia. We're going to get into it here. So this matchup as Japan can be a difficult one. You like the fast castle on this map, but Delhi, if they're good, can be very aggressive and kind of end that fast castle. Your other option is to try to play Delhi straight up, which you can do. And the strategy is one of like survival and raiding until you get the food advantage. And you get the food advantage because Delhi is going to be super food heavy on the map. They want to make units, a lot of units, and they want to get on these food resources. And so kind of the way you play that is you're playing fast units, you're playing honors, you're playing horsemen, and you're trying to engage, but also raid and keep them off food. And then hopefully, eventually, as you're getting free farms from your current storehouse and you're upgrading your TC, you're just able to out-eco them eventually by doing that. It can be difficult, but it's possible. I actually have a video on my YouTube where I do that. The other option, of course, is fast castle. I would suggest you only do one tower and you just really rush it, and you should probably go samurai. Reason being is since they can produce units so quickly and you do knights, they'll probably just switch to spearmen really quickly. And so just mass samurai can get you out of a jam there if you just, and also they're cheaper gold wise, so if you get pushed off gold you can afford more of them. So that's my analysis. Oh, and another reason why I suggest Anas and horsemen early on is because they're fast, so you can decap sacred sites quickly or try to catch a scholar if they try to yellow them out to one of the side sacred sites without protecting them. All right, let's get into it. So key here is always going to be good scouting of the enemy. What are they opening? How many are they making? Where are they ending up? What's their comp? And then responding appropriately. If you decide to play this in feudal, I suggest you still get a tower on the gold, just so it's just one less thing you have to pay attention to. Also, certain walls can really help, so putting like a wall here just to make it harder to raid and gives your villagers a better chance of survival. I'm okay with this Kura. Problem with this Kura is it's blocked by the stone. You do get the wood access, which is nice, but this feels like one that you're not maximizing your farms at first, and even then when your farms are out, they're raidable. As much as you want to use that free wood spot, I would still honestly suggest you put the Kura here just to maximize farming. Your gold would be in the way, but you're going to run through your gold more, you're going to faster, you're going to run through this stone. Just my thought. Nice sheep haul, it's good. Lots of wood. Are we rushing castle? 4 on gold's also a lot on gold. Okay, looks like we're fighting this out. So my suggestion is you get 8 on wood, and that's all you have on wood. Because at 8 on wood, you can continuously add production, so you're just adding more and more barracks and stables. Then you can just rally to food, just rally to food, rally to food, rally to food. And eventually, if you have enough production buildings, you might need to go on wood for to be able to afford units. But really, it's going to be food that holds you back. And maybe gold if you're making like a lot of samurai. But the beauty for things, but 8 on wood, continuously add production. You can even start adding farms on the opposite side of your TC, and especially as you upgrade that TC and you get your eco upgrades, your farms become some of the best feudal farms in the game, like up there with English and Itchery for feudal farms. So right now you're kind of sitting here. You need to be at his base. What is he opening? What is he doing? Where is he going? You also never scouted around his base, and it's really critical because you want to know where his food is. Like, you want to be able to know where you can send 2 Anas or 2 horsemen or a samurai to just push him off food and agitate him. Because even if you're not killing villagers, if you're forcing him to run all the way back to TC, that is huge food loss. And so what you're missing in this corner is his deer, his berries, and his deer and a gold, which you probably won't be on. But this is a lot of food here. And if you're able to control the narrative and push him off this food, you continuously raid this, that's going to be a huge problem for him. Because he's almost have these berries, and he has his berries here, and he has his sheep. Once he runs through that, this is all of his food right here. And so if there's ever a chance you could mess with this, that'd be huge. It'd be really huge. You're also missing these opening stable, but that's all he's added so far. That's all he's added so far. So Scout your opponent's base and scout around the base. Even if you're not the one being aggressive yet, you want to know where the raiding opportunities are. I would not open Samurai. Even against his Ghazi, Samurai are very expensive. You want mass right now. Boom, Ghazi there. And the reason that's surprising to you is that you were scouting this like front area right here, where it would have been better if you were up here scouting. You could have seen the first Ghazi go. 2, gold is the most common area to raid. So once again, to reduce the area of ability to raid, you could have walled here, so you're not afraid of them coming through here. But even then, it's the easiest to run away from wood. So scout should have been by the gold, honestly, to catch this initial raid. And that's why I said, like, instead of doing the second protection building, just drop a tower on the gold. Or a wall from here to here, so you just don't have to worry about it. Let's watch from your perspective here for a second. Oh, you're gonna lose a... what to say? Key thing is, don't put that Vill back on gold. If it's a hurt Vill, put him on, like, food under the TC. Oh, no. He's gonna be super easy to kill in a second. This is why you don't want to do Samurai early. Because Ghazis actually have a little bit extra damage against heavy, and it's not a lot, but right now he's doing 14, right? Minus your 3, so that's 11. You know, that's not bad. You're doing 10. He has 0 armor, so you need 14 hits. He needs less than that, so he will win this 1v1, which makes sense. Your unit costs 130. His cost 140. So technically by cost, with his little added bonus, like a normal horseman, you're doing fine. Your advantage will come if you can mass a lot of samurai. But right now he already has 2 Ghazis. And so it'd have been better if you do Anas at the first. Why? Anas can hit and then run away, so you're not getting caught. And really, you can do like an Ana Spearman mix. So like an Ana Bagation, a Spearman mix would have been really good here. And then once he starts adding the archers, which he's doing right now, but once he starts adding the archers, then you mix in the horsemen. I know you're gonna think samurai, but no, you need to go horsemen. And the horsemen jump his archers, while your spearmen and your Anas are fighting his Ghazis. His Ghazis have nothing to counter yet. There's nothing for his Ghazis to counter. And then he's gonna go, okay, I need to go spearmen for these horsemen. And then once the spearmen come out, that's when you go mass samurai. The second you see the spearmen, or the second he starts over investing the archers, you switch into mass samurai. And that first fight you take with mass samurai against a more heavy archer spearman comp, your samurais will shred, especially if you get all your upgrades. But early on, you gotta kind of play into the counter game until you get him into a better spot. A lot of times in these feudal fights, it's almost just as much about getting your opponent into the unit you like to counter the most. So you have samurai, you really want him to make archers and spears because your samurai will crush those. But this is just, see, it's not going to work, and now you're already at a unit disadvantage. I mean, all you need is spearmen. Look, he's a spear cav right now. Spearmen clear this up really easily. But you were very stubborn on samurai, and that's not the move early on. You know, now you have these 2 samurai, and he's going to hunt this because he knows this is a chance to kill these samurai. Okay, now this wall is coming up with the spearman covering it. Did you upgrade the spearman? Oh, stop taking these fights. So why are we taking these fights? You're severely outnumbered. You don't need to take them. So far you've thrown away 2 samurai, so that's 260 worth of resources, and he hasn't lost a single Ghazi. So he's being super efficient right now, and you are not. And part of that reason is because you keep taking fights where you're outnumbered. If you're outnumbered and you don't have counters, which would even up the numbers, you don't take the fight, just walk away. If you're trying to get this wall up, that's fine. Just keep the spearmen near the wall, because you're making more spearmen and get the upgrade too. And also get Tatara, things like that. Start getting your upgrades. But like, yeah. And that's also why, like, while this wall's nice, tower could be easier to get up, easier to defend, while the wall keeps going. But you keep throwing your units away. And look, there's another example where if you just get your spearman by the villager doesn't die. But since you ran your spearman out, his horseman just ran past your spears and onto your villager. Remember, what's the weakness of a spearman compared to a cav unit? The cav are faster, so they're just going to outrun you. They're going to run around you. So you need to keep your spearmen where you want to protect, not chase cavalry around. If that's going to happen, you're going to start walling this, and all of a sudden either archers or another Ghazi is going to show up. Oh, here's the Ghazi. We're lucky here. No, where are those? No. Just put them on sheep right now. Get this wall up when you actually have successfully pushed them away from your base. But get this wall up first. This is the shorter one, easier one to get. Then now you have 2 walls up, and then you can focus all your units here and get this wall up. And now you have berries, lots of wood protected, and that's how you can really start getting your production up. But yeah, this early starts makes it really rough because he's massing units like crazy right now. He probably has archers coming. Yep, it's 4 archers. That's what you don't want to chase. And he should be getting on the sacred sites any second here. No, he needs to. Yeah, so if you don't, and this is why if I'm playing this matchup, I'm already adding stables because you just know, if you start making archer spearmen, he's gonna make archers. Pre-set it up. Here come the archers, and you're outnumbered. Do not leave base. That's a lot of spearmen. Upgrade them, please. Upgrade the spearmen. Stay by the villagers. Upgrade the spearmen. It's a lot of archers. Back up. It's a lot of archers. Back up. It's a lot of archers. Back up. Upgrade your spearmen. So look, see, look what he's doing. This is purposeful. He is just poking. He killed each one of your spears with his archers, and now he'll run away. And once he runs away, he's gonna send in the reinforcements. Reinforcements? Okay, but here's what I mean about the food knowledge, right? He's on berries. He's on deer. No defenses. Nothing. There's no tower. Nothing. And at this point, you're trying to push him back. If you just sent 2 spearmen, shift-click them into the food, or 2 samurai, shift-click them into the food, that's going to be really disruptive. This is also why I like going horsemen here, because then you can make horsemen and send 2 horsemen into the food line while your infantry are holding the defense. You're also just, like, this fight's going pretty well for you, but, like, okay, you pushed him back. But it feels like you could be winning this more. What are your units? Watching your perspective. And okay, we finally added the stable. Good, good, good. Get on the. You want to get on the farms the second you get them because that saves sheep. So get on the farms and then get on the berries. And make another lumber camp. But the key here is spending down at all times. You're hitting your hotkey, whatever hotkeys you have set up for your production, and you are constantly making units. The biggest thing here is just can you consistently make units? Because he's going to consistently make units. Get your upgrades to Tara, leatherwork, and just keep adding production, keep going. It's that cycle of I'm making villagers, I'm moving on to my farms, I'm adding production, I'm making 1 farm. I'm building more units. I'm going again. And while Horseman can be great in the fight here, I think Horseman also can play an amazing role at just raiding his food. That's why you gotta scout his whole base. He hasn't taken a sacred site yet, so you're in a really good spot here. Usually they take sacred sites by now, and that's their main way of getting extra resources. Thank you. I have to say, why haven't we even why have we not walled that yet? Pull back, pull. It's a lot of archers. So your samurai will slice up those archers, but he can just run away. Because samurai are slow. Now that horseman's doing work. More horsemen. I would really go heavy on horsemen at this point. Like look how many archers he has. I just go super heavy on horsemen. This is when raids on food are so important here, because his food resources are completely open, and he, like, look at his food compared to yours. Him being on the berries and the deer is just delightful for him, and you're not stopping him at all. Please get your upgrades. Please get your military upgrades, because he gets them all for free, so you got to get them to the match. Ooh, a little late on the response. Oh, we're aging up? Okay. Here's how I feel about the age up. I fear you're going to get rolled over once you aged up, because you're going to be so low on resources that when the age up hits, you can't do anything with it, while he will just be pumping units. I have won as Deli against people who have castled multiple times because they just don't have the resources to maintain it, and I'm in their base. If you think about it, the 1800 resources he's been aging up, if you had just had more units, you'd be wiping him right now. If those 1800 resources were instead horsemen and samurai, you would run over him. The horsemen would jump on the archers, the samurai would then slaughter the Gazis without taking much damage, and you would roll over him. But instead, you're letting him get sacred sites, you're letting him continue to make units, and you're going to really struggle to maintain unit production after you get this age up, is my prediction here. You have so much wood. I would legit build more production and drop farms. Why do we? I think you made a scout on accident. Look how many units this is. That's so many units. Holy moly. And honestly, I think the only way you could have won that is if you actually dropped that in the Yoroshiro in the barracks and just gone pure upgraded veteran samurai with the Odachi. I think it's the only way you could have held it and just put them all here. But I mean, that's the thing, is that the second you stop making units and aged up, he did not stop making units and he just overwhelmed you. And that's how Deli rolls, man. That's why often against Deli, if you start fighting them and then go castle, it often feels like whoever just goes castle loses against Deli, whoever castles first. Because if you castle first and they're still making units, they're just going to roll over you. Even if you're making feudal units, I mean castle units, he has so many feudal units. Which is why I was a bigger proponent of you doing samurai, because it's cheaper. You could get the upgrades really fast, and you have a lot of samurai, so it would have been really good for you. But also just the eco got messed up at the end from how many units he had, and the reason he had so many units is that he can afford to take the trades, but you kept on taking engagements that were okay, but it was causing you to lose too many units, and you yourself took some bad engagements early, and you never ever raided. Never raided. Never on his food, and Deli's greatest weakness is food. Hope that was helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want some coaching, please reach out. I'd love to coach you. And let's go check out the next game. Entering our second game, we have Good Soup against Cameron Poe. Now, Good Soup is going to win this game, but he wanted me to look at it anyway, just because he is trying to learn Malians. He just wants some advice on Malians. He is playing against HRE, which winning this one as Malians against HRE is pretty good. I feel like Malians can struggle at times against HRE, in the higher levels at least. This is my understanding now with how good HRE feudal is. But let's get into it. A little bit clanky start here, but you're going to be okay. The key part of this matchup is what does the HRE player decide to do? Because the HRE player can kind of dictate how this early game goes. For example, does the HRE player decide to go Dark Age and burn down your pit mine? Do they decide to go all in feudal? Do they decide to rush castle? And whatever they decide to do, you have to react accordingly, which makes it very, very important that you're scouting what they're doing. If you are not scouting what they're doing, I would have just added, you have 25 more wood, I would have just done one more house. If you're not scouting what they're doing, you're gonna be surprised. So if you're not scouting a feudal all in, and you're trying to rush the cows up, then you're gonna have a bunch of HRE soldiers running in and you'll die as you age up. If you're not scouting the fast castle, then you'll be trying to add too many cows, where if you're seeing the fast castle, you should only do like half your cows and age up. So you see what I mean, where it's like you really, really want to be scouting carefully. And really, anytime you play a civ that is doing a more defensive eco-focused strategy, whether it's 2TC, whether it's fast cast, whatever it is, early scouting is really, really important. So you know if you need to react. Are they going super heavy units? Do you think you can hold that without making units? Do you need a tower? Do you need to make units? For Malian, it's really important because with your passive eco, if you just mirror the opponent's unit production, you'll be okay, because hypothetically you're getting more resources than them. You have your first pit mine, you have the Mansa Quarry, so that's free gold. So you can get even like 5-6 cows up. That's passive food they don't get. So you have to think about, even if you're not getting as much eco as you want, even incremental passive income is better than what your opponent's getting, which is none. And so as long as you're just mirroring and defending very well, getting the right unit comp, playing good defense tactics and fundamentals, it's gonna be really good for you. You want to take one more pass right now at the HRE player. Usually if they do a very slow age up like this, it's because they're rushing castle. So I would just assume a fast castle here. This early macro here is really important too, because it should be pretty heavy on wood. That then goes into pretty heavy on gold. To get cows. And then adding more to food if you see them making units. So this is my first issue, is I really wish you would have gone by his base now that he's aged up. Because if you went by it, you would see he is dropping a barracks. He has 5 on gold, but it doesn't seem like a castle rush yet. It could be. But dropping the barracks suggests he's making units. If I see the barracks, I would then make a barracks yourself. And I would just make Mustafatis. Because if he makes spearmen, your Mustafatis be spearmen. If he makes men at arms, your Mustafatis beat them. So you just want to make the counter immediately. So you really needed to already add a mill, because as you're making these, you want to be adding cows instantly. So I would have actually put the first mill here, just so it's right next to adding, and then a second mill on the berries, and then you can always do double the cow production. But the first cow ranch came up, the first mill should have come up, and cows already being made. Making all the cattle ranches first is just a waste of time. I'd much rather you're making the cows for each cattle ranch as you're building them. At this point, you should really be rallying to gold. You have enough on wood. Like, maybe you have 12, I guess. But, like, you really want to be rallying to gold. Whereas cows are coming in. But that's why I would double mill. Because you can make 3 cows right now. Why not just be going all in on cows? And this is, man, if you were playing against a better HRE player, they're either A, about to click up the castle, which is something you really want to know, or B, they have a bunch of units about to hit your base and you don't know. So the scouting is setting you up for failure, honestly, if you were playing against a better player. 2, I really wish you would have scouted over on this side, because you would have seen, you have this whole side unscouted. You would have seen there's another gold mine right here, and you could have gone ahead and dropped the next pit mine pretty quickly. Oh, you just dropped a mill here. Okay. You can drop the second pit mine here and start getting that second passive gold going, which is really, really nice. But you never scouted over here. Get closer. Get closer. Okay, you're seeing units. You're seeing spearmen. We're seeing a second production building. But a lot on gold, so he might be doing like some units, but then like really rushing castle. Which we can see with our God Vision, that's what he's doing. He's rushing castle. But all he does is make a few units. And you're opening archery range? Okay. And you built a tower? Okay. You're building another tower? Building another tower? It's a lot of towers. I would rather just be production buildings, honestly. I'd rather just be production buildings and you're making units as opposed to these towers, because towers you need to upgrade the... Excuse me. Towers, you need to upgrade them for that to be worth it. 1. 2, if you have so much extra wood to side, you don't need wood anymore. You got all your cattle ranches up. That was your main wood draw. Now with your wood, I would get the second pit mine up, and then you're just rallying to gold, honestly. And you're just getting these cows in as fast as possible, and you're making units if you see them coming. So in this case, you see spears them to start making archers. Which is good, because archers are a great unit to have in castle with the poison arrows. But all you really did here was spend... Are you on stone? Oh. Duh. I understand the feeling of doing this. Also, why'd you do fortify first? You want arrow slits first. But anyway, I understand why you'd want to do this. Keep it on gold. Just make units. Just make units, I think, here. Because he's not hard rushing you. You notice how much food you have? And how many cows you still need to make? You need to just get on gold heavy. Early age up. Where's your scout? You say your scout's just chilling here? Don't you want to know what he's doing? Is he making units? He just aged up. Are you gonna try to stop him from getting relics? Like, your scout, you're sitting here completely blind. You're sitting here completely blind. Take off your headphones. You're doing the Helen Keller challenge. Like, just go look at what he's doing. See where his units are. And it's really because, and also if you'd been making units, but then he rushes castle, you could have set the units to guard relics. You could have units here, 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 making sure he's not getting the relics quickly or easily, especially while you're rushing your age up right now. But you get off wood, or you need to add a bunch of production buildings. I would match your archers with sofa. Archers of poison arrow and sofa are a great combo. We're still adding. Okay, we're getting the mosque up really quickly. Oh, nice. Catch him, catch him, catch him, catch him, catch him. Oh, no, no, you could have killed him. Your archers let him get away. Oh, that's so painful. You had him. And we're adding the second pit mine now. This should have came up way earlier. Honestly, should have come up way earlier. Getting your upgrades. Get arrow defense first instead of bloomery. Arrow defense, because you want to be able to die under TC and stuff like that. You want arrow defense. Guard the other relic, good. You can also upgrade your scouts to be warrior scouts, just to make that defense of the relic with your scout more likely. Okay, he's going pure knights, so in this case you want to get your sofa upgrades to veteran and or more border armor, and then you want to get either poison arrows for your archers, which will actually do okay against knights, or you drop barracks and start making donzos. Or you could make mass Musafatis. Musafatis actually do okay against knights. But totally understand why I make donzos. Now the towers are being great. But even then, we don't have our farms fully in yet. A lot of knights. Let's look at the stats here. Knights have more health. They have similar armor right now. Similar armor, but their damage is much better, which is the key here. You have 21, he has 25. So sofas in mass can take on knights, but you need like 1.5 more sofas than knights to feel comfortable taking that fight. Alright, R.I.P. Monk. Don't leak out. Like you saw what you did there, where it's like you kept sending units and leaking out, which meant that your units were being killed. Nice knights everywhere. And so here's the thing. These knights got to feel like a surprise, right? You know what would have been a surprise? If you had scouted and saw he dropped 3 stables, which just means instant knights. Just mass knights, and you could have responded more accordingly. And now you're losing the advantage, because what you want to be doing right now as Malians is with that huge cow uptick, and with your gold supply, as well as getting your third pit mine, you want to just be going insano on sofas and musafatis at first, because they're both food and gold, and that's what you have a lot of. You just go insano on those, and then you transition into poison archers and siege. Yep. And your sofas, you want to be raiding everything. Like, you want to just be setting groups of sofas in to like almost kamikaze dive his resources, like sofas into here, because sofas are such a good raiding unit, because they do 20 plus 3 against infantry, which, you know, villagers are technically infantry, and so that's a great way to just get in there and kill so many villagers so quickly with your sofas. That's a lot of knights. $23 idle. 23 idle. We still have 12 in the TC. Now you're making warrior scouts, and it's pure knights. I'm actually interested to see how this comes out as a win, because right now he has 4 relics, mass knights. You have 18 units. He has 27. So I am really interested in how you turn this game around, Mr. Good Soup. Oh, you have, okay, so he has 3 relics. He has 3. Please, for the love of your villagers' legs, build more lumber camps. Get your upgrades. Get your eco upgrades, because the horticulture applies to the cows, even if they're in the ranches, so get horticulture. And man, with that many knights, I'd start walling up. I'd wall it from like here to here to here, just to make sure he can't raid you right now, because the danger is a massive night raid comes in and just kills all your villagers. So you want to start walling up just to prevent the raids. and get the counters out. You're making archers. You don't even have poison arrow yet. So like, get your upgrades, get your counters, and get safe. That's so many knights. Ooh, oh no, no, no. So this is exactly what you want to do. You want to be checking resources and getting them off resources. When the game starts, you basically want to, like, when you hit castle, you want to go, where are his resources? Like, I know he's going to have farms and stuff, but like, where's his wood line? Where's the next gold? Where's the next food? So I'm sending sofas to the food. I'm sending sofas to the nearby golds. I'm sending sofas to the wood line. And like 2 or 3 sofas in all these areas do so much work. And that's how you win these sort of games, is the raiding, the constant raiding. Raiding into like a big push. You are so lucky that he's playing so passive. He could honestly just dive you right now and kill so many villagers. Oh my goodness. This looks really this looks honestly really bad for you. One thing you had done the second you dropped off the relics, go send your priest to sacred sites to take them, but now we're making better counter comp here. Now we're making better counter comp, but the archers for a while were not it. Why do you keep sending your donzos in? Look how many knights he has. So basically when his knights are somewhere, just rally your units nearby, but you need a mass, right? Like you want to be rallying like right here, move these villagers over here and just rally to here, this spot. So when you get a mass of them, then you fight. Sending 2 in every time you spawn in just loses your units. Like that's a big defensive tactic. Is if I'm being attacked, I'm rallying my units nearby so I can attack them with a mass. If you just keep on leaking units and one by one, you're just losing units. Like you just wasted probably like 8 units just sending them into this meat grinder. Jesus. I mean, imagine if he had added like any other unit. Like if he had come in here with spearmen. Springle towers were actually really, really important here. That's crazy how important your springle towers were to that defense. That's why I said you needed walls. Add a pit mine to that. Why are we pushing? Why are we pushing with with 6 units? You need those units. You saw how many knights he had? If you want to raid, just use your cavalry. Use your 2 sofas to raid. They're really fast. And then if the knights show up, they can run away. And then you're asking so, oh my lord. You're asking so much to just be raided. Just zoom and these all die. Please, for your safety, with that many knights on the field, you need to wall. Preferably, since you're leaking in stone right now from Mansa, start stone walling. So because with wood walls, he could just burn through that really fast. See, this is good. That's the sort of raids you want to do. That's great raid too. See how the sofas just killed those villagers? Okay, now here we go. He rushed in? With the L's back? What is he doing? My man. He needed to do Palace of Swabia. He needs the eco boost. You are so lucky he went L's back. You're so lucky he went L's back. That's weak sauce from him, honestly. He didn't even L's back and like if he had... Why'd he L's back here? If he L's back here, maybe. Or like here to protect all his farms. But like... who knows how the HRE mind works. Okay, now we're doing the thing we want to do earlier, which is continuously leaking in units, and that's a lot of knights. Oh, our resources are topsy-turvy right now. Okay, now we're rushing him. What do we go with? Europe Bara. Sure. With that many knights, I would have probably just dropped the Fort of the Huntress right here to protect all these farms, because Lord Almighty, it's a lot of knights. I would have Fort of the Huntress right there. So many Imperial Knights. Once again, it's like, how did he not lose? I guess is the thing for me. Sorry, I mean, how did he not win? Him sitting on your towers was so good for you. He just stove past your towers onto your villagers. This raid over here is nice. But he actually has a gold near Dalsback that he's currently not using. Weird. Him just not going for your villagers or even your cows at all. He's trying to burn down your TC. That's actually insane. So you should have lost this game. Here's what a better HRE player does. 1, the knights just go everywhere and kill all your villagers. 2, he then focus fires and burns down each one of these cow ranches and kills the cows. And then he leaves and your eco is awful. And then he builds up and he does another push. He's Swabia, so then he gets a lot of villagers. And the thing that's holding you back is 1, the delay in the age up from dropping all those towers. 2, your lack of scouting, which means you didn't really know what he was doing until it was like really late and you almost died because of it. 3, once you see your opponent's comp, you need to hard counter it, and then you also need to protect yourself. So like a castle imperial walls are super important to make sure you can't get these raids happen, because he had so many knights he could at any point just rip your eco apart. You're really lucky he focused on just basically the wrong thing. I mean, and also look at your eco. Spend your resources. Drop a market and buy food. You have so much gold. Get your upgrades. You have so much gold. But really, this is just such a waste of choices by him on what to attack. And this whole time you raided his villagers to death. Oh my god, he has 17 villagers left. So on the other hand, your raids worked out really well. That's because he also did not do the most basic HRE thing, which is drop towers and put cannon emplacements in them. He has 4 relics. If he had just done some basic towering of relics, you can't raid there. And if he had Swabia, he's just replacing all those villagers in a blink of an eye. So overall, you're just very lucky. He made some very bad decisions. And hey, that's still a W. But like... honestly, you're kind of lucky on this one. So I'm gonna call it there. I hope that was helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're interested in coaching, let me know. I would love to coach you. With that, those are your replay reviews. Paper cut out.